Hello everyone. With the first day of fall just around the corner on September 22nd, I thought that I would go ahead and show you how to brew a popper cup or pot of tea. Let's get started. I have seen too many times this method done in magazines and stuff and online, there's even a comfort butler online that has done it this way, and this is not the proper way to brew tea. Putting your tea leaves in this tea leaf catcher is not how we brew tea. So if you have a tea magazine or a tea channel or something and you do this, please know it is not correct. And what they'll do is they'll pour hot water over it, and then the tea runs through, and they think that they've brewed a proper cup of tea, and that is not true. So what happens when you brew a proper cup of tea? What you do is you boil your water, but before you do your tea and everything, what you do is you heat up your cup. You're going to heat up your cup a little bit with some hot water and your teapot. So you're going to take your teapot and you're going to heat it up with some hot water. This is so that you're not pouring hot tea into a cold teapot, because without warming it up properly first, it will not stay hot as long as it needs to. And so we're just going to swish this around a little bit. Okay, and then when the teacup is warmed up, we're going to go ahead and throw that tea water away, and then put that back down, swish the teapot a little bit so that the hot water gets up the sides of the teapot, and you can actually feel that the teapot is heating up. That's great. And normally, when you had Victorian tea, you may have seen this on Downton Abbey. They have something called a slop bowl, which was perfectly normal and proper, and that's where extra water, if you drank down to the bottom of your teacup and you had some tea leaves left over, what you do is you would put your used tea, cold tea, in the slop bowl. And then what you would do is you do use this, but not how you've seen it used. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some loose leaf tea. Now you can of course, you can buy tea bags, put that in your teapot, or I have paper tea bags. This is popular among herbalists because then you can do your own blend, put it in your teapot for medicinal reasons. Sometimes people have muslin reusable tea bags. That's okay too. Today I'm going to do this, however. I have some loose leaf tea. I have my teaspoon. It's not a teaspoon measurement. It just measures out a spoonful of tea. All right. See that? Goes into the teapot. Now you do 1 spoonful per person. If it's a 10-cup teapot, you do 10 spoonfuls. Oh, and they're not huge. I did a larger amount because it's just me. But if I were going to serve multiple people, I might make it a little bit weaker. I might do 5 to 7, and they're level teaspoons. They're not heaping tablespoons of tea leaves. And then into I had to bump it a little bit, warmed up teapot goes our hot water. The lid is put on and the tea is steeped. Anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7 minutes. Please note, though, that the longer your tea steeps, it can run the risk of becoming bitter. And we don't want our tea to become bitter. And one moment. And now here is how we actually use this little gadget. Put this up a little bit, because it is there to catch loose leaf tea. If you don't want to read your tea leaves afterward, you would use that. See what it's doing? It's catching tea leaves. That is how that is used. See, ta-da. Now you have a perfectly brewed cup of tea into which you can put sugar, lemon, milk, not all of them. Normally it's good just to do one or two, and you are good to go with a little biscuit or slice of cake, Victoria sponge or something. There you go. That's how you brew a popper cup of tea. And then if you wanted to read the tea leaves afterwards, that's another video. Put down in comments, yes or no. Do you want me to show you how to read tea leaves? Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a great day. Please like and subscribe and help the channel to grow.